Hello everyone, welcome to February 11th, breaking down some League of Legends DFS and betting breakdown. I want to say quickly before I get started that currently I have construction going on in the house, so if you guys hear that stuff going on in the background, just try to ignore it. I'll try to my best to talk about stuff that's going on. So quickly to recap, not a lot to talk about. The only series that kind of piqued my interest really was the if I could find it, yes, this rare item IG one. So this one I kind of just plainly got wrong. I don't think there's any kind of debate really on that one. I believe I just kind of gave RA way too much credit. iBoy just dragging this team down so bad, and I'm still surprised why we're not seeing Zora. I thought Zora was just so much better than Yu Yanja, but it kind of is what it is in that aspect. So I think it's maybe time to stop giving RA so much of a leash in terms of kind of letting us down and losing. So I was pretty impressed with IG, although I still think this is probably more so a bad team beating a bad team rather than IG proving anything to us. So that's something to keep in mind, I think, going forward. JDG got the job done over Team WE. Not a lot to talk about there. 2-0, kind of liked what I saw from them. Then quickly over to the LCK. As you guys can see, I'm definitely trying to speed run this part. Super busy today, so apologize for that. Damwon got the job done 2-0 over Guangdong Freaks. Somehow they made the Zeri look balanced over for Teddy on Guangdong. The same story for Guangdong. It's just Keen V9 solo by himself. It's kind of sad, honestly, but hopefully he gets a move to a decent team coming up soon. Kind of same. I like the draft from Damwon in Game 2. Seemed to counter the Guangdong draft pretty hard. They managed to navigate that one pretty well. I was pretty impressed with that. They got the job done. Over in the second series, so hopefully you guys saw on Twitter before lock. If not, then that kind of sucks. But both Peanut and Lehens came down with COVID. So the Gen G players had to bring up they have a substitute already, and they had to bring up Lospa from their academy team. Young Jay filled in for Peanut in the jungle. It was still Doran, Chovy, and Ruler. I don't think there's a lot really to talk about. I still think this kind of went as I expected after the news broke. I thought maybe Gen G would still be favored, but not by a lot, and that's kind of what happened. We saw Gen G get the job done in the third game. They looked pretty strong. Overall, I thought Gen G was the best team in the league, and they still won with a substitute jungler and support, which I think are definitely two of the more important roles. So that was pretty impressive for them. Looking ahead, I don't have time to really write my odds today and compare them. So we're kind of just going to have to go over the odds that are happening. Oh, maybe I need to get the lineups, actually. That's something I forgot to do beforehand. So pardon me while I find them on my second monitor. For some reason I'm not finding them easily where I normally do. Just do it like this. So I don't know if these are in order, but we can just go with them in that order. Anyone's Legend versus Ultra Prime. This is a pretty close series. Anyone's Legend versus Ultra Prime. I don't know why I thought it was something different, but you guys know me. I'm actually kind of a big proponent of this Ultra Prime roster. I feel like Elk and Chelsea are super strong individual players. Hacker and Cryan are decent. ZS is a little bit of a letdown, but we also weren't expecting that much for him in the first place. I mean, you guys know how I'm going to feel about the Anyone's Legend series. I feel like they can win this. Like, it is two bad teams, and Anyone's Legend usually do get into those type of games against other bad teams. I don't know, it's just tough. Anyone's Legend have had just such a poor outing. Sorry, these are so we check who they've played. Looking back, Anyone's Legend, they lost to Thunder Talk pretty bad. Lost to Weibo, RNG, FPX, OMG, beat LGD. So they've beat a bad team. They've lost to a bad team in Thunder Talk. They lost to good teams in, I think OMG is pretty decent. RNG, Weibo. They arguably should have won against the Weibo series. So I don't know. It's tough. Like, I feel like I always want to take the shot on Anyone's Legend. I told myself I was kind of done with that, but it's hard to not see the upside in this team and these players. We have Forge coming back in for Maple. I thought Maple was going to be better than Forge, but it didn't really look like it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of Forge here. I wish I would have just stuck with Maple, but it is what it is. I don't know. Like, objectively, I feel like Ultra Prime is the better team and should get the job done, but it's going to be hard for me to ignore the Anyone's Legend side and take the shot on my favorite players here with like Betty, Chocho, Xiao, and ZDZ. I don't know. I'll probably get on lean on the Anyone's Legend side because I just think it's bad team versus bad team, and Anyone's Legend have shown some upside. So, I think objectively it should be the Ultra Prime side, but it's just tough for me to avoid the AL side here. On the second series, we actually have a pretty interesting one, kind of low key. So Thunder Talk actually get UCal and Chieftain replacing their jungler and mid laner. And this is a surprise, I think, for some people, but this is like kind of who their roster was supposed to be. And I think this is going to be a much improved team. Thunder Talk is like low-key going to be one of the like decent teams, I think, going forward. However, it's just tough when you're starting off against BLG, who I think is like a super strong team already. I think Doggo, Bree, like all these players have just looked really good so far. So I like BLG here to get the job done 2-0. Thunder Talk just haven't shown enough. Although I think Chieftain and UCal are going to be huge improvements for them going forward. I forgot who they're replacing. It's like Captain and Yay or something. But I like the BLG side 2-0 and Thunder Talk. I like them going forward, just not in this spot necessarily. So Thunder Talk BLG pretty heavily there. OMG V5. So these are like two of my darling teams. It's going to be tough to pick them. I've kind of rode OMG to a few upsets, and same maybe could be said for V5. I just think the overall skill is just going to be a little bit too much here, I think, for the V5 side. I think this is actually going to be like a good close series. I think these teams are like relatively similar in power overall, but I just have to lean with the V5 side. They just have a little bit more experience across the board, and they've just shown a lot more. Rookie versus Cream is a super exciting matchup, but it's just tough to see OMG winning consistently here against the veteran team presence that the V5 side has. So I'll go with the V5 side here. Probably close. I might say this is a 2-1. I'm not sure what the odds will look like. So checking the odds quickly. Whoops. Accidentally I'm clicking everywhere. For some reason the second LCK game isn't on Bovada. I'm not sure what that's about. But Ultra Prime minus 300. That's pretty surprising, to be honest. I feel like these teams are pretty close in skill. I guess I kind of get it, though. Anyone's Legend have looked pretty abysmal. BLG, this is a crazy price tag, if I'm honest, but still not enough to get me to go to the TT side. I don't know how long TT have had their roster, but I think Chieftain and UCal are huge improvements. That's something I actually want to kind of talk about a little bit more going forward, because let's see, they had Frigid and Captain, so not great in there at all. And you guys know I liked Puff and Southwind. Frigid and Captain were the weak spots for sure, and they get Chieftain and UCal. So obviously we know Yukao, one of the top Korean mid laners in the world for a while, over on the KT roster lineup. I mean, just a super solid player, going to be a huge upgrade there for them. And then Chieftain coming over from Fredit Brion, and then before that, Vici, and then he was with the BLG Juniors Academy team. So some just huge improvements there for that team. I like them going forward, but again, tough spot. So looking at the odds again, tough there for BLG. Minus 250, minus 2,500 is crazy, but it is what it is. I like BLG still, maybe not at that price. V5 OMG, this is about what I lined it as in my head personally. I think V5 slight favorite, but it'll be close. This is probably just like an X out for me. Like, although these close LPL games are interesting because if it goes 3, you can get crazy scores. But I just feel like if they're just too good, honestly. So I don't think the losing teams are going to throw down that much. I'd be surprised if a 2-0 happened. So I'm just going to go with like a V5 2-1. Probably just leave this series alone altogether, though. It just feels like if each team loses, they're not going to score that well in a loss. So it's going to be tough there. So I like the Anyone's Legend side. I like BLG. That's probably my initial lean. And looking at the LCK games, we have to get the odds here. So they have a Nongshim minus 200 against Fredit Brion. Does Nongshim have like people out? I believe they do, don't they? Maybe that's something I should know. Oh yeah, Effort tested positive for COVID. I mean, I don't know. If it's just Effort, then Nongshim should not be minus 200. The lineup should look like, let's see, Korea, Nongshim. So Effort tested positive. I mean, it's still the same lineup. Yeah, this is super weird. They should be much bigger favorites over Fred Brion, I believe. Let's see. Yeah, man, that is just weird, if I'm honest. I don't know, maybe that's why these odds got pulled from... No, it's the same there. I don't know. I don't understand that line really at all, if I'm honest. I mean, I get Nongshim have lost. They lost to DRX, T1, lost to Hanwha. Like, I get it, but I don't know. I'm still just a big fan of this Nongshim team, especially over this Fredit Brion team. Like, I don't know. Like, Fredit Brion do have that upset potential. Like, I've been on their side a few times, but I'm just not seeing it there together. So I'm leaning with the Nongshim side. But probably just Xing out the LCK games as a whole. DRX Hanwha. Again, super coin flippy. Oh, this game just got added. That's weird. Pretty coin flippy, not liking either side really too much. Big discrepancy in odds. That's kind of odd, but I tend to agree that DRX is the decent favorite. But we know the LCK pace isn't that high. We can look at the stats on Oracle Elixir. They did LCK, LPL. DRX, Fredit Brion, Nongshim, Hanwha. So yeah, nothing there for combined kills per minute. So yeah, I'm just Xing out the LCK there. I mean, I don't think there's a lot to talk about really. I know you guys are probably wanting more information, but I'm just in a super rush today, so I apologize. But it's going to be super straightforward for me. I think I'm just going to go with the BLG Anyone's Legend, probably leaning on the Anyone's Legend side a little bit heavier. I don't know. It's tough. There's not much to like from underdogs, really. If you guys want to take the shot on OMG as the underdog, I don't think that's a bad shout really at all. I think I'm crossing out both of the LCK games. I don't like the Fredit Brion series or the Damwon series they just reek of slow pace for me. So if I'm just focusing on these series, the LPL ones, I think BLG should get the 2-0. Doggo has insane kill rates, so that's what we can look at. So I think it's going to be, I'll go with Anyone's Legend, BLG, and then I'm just going to leave this one alone. I mean, you guys, I'll leave these links in the description so you guys can look at this information however you want to. This is just kind of what I'm looking at. So we see BLG and Doggo, high skill participation, so double ADC captain definitely looking strong. Maple was up there, but he's not playing. It'll be Forge. Maybe you want to go with the BLG side because we see Doggo, Weiwei, and Crisp up there. I think overall the Anyone's Legend series should be the bloodier of the two. So I'm going to Anyone's Legend primary with a BLG secondary stack. Probably not that interesting. You guys could probably figure out my entire build just from that. But, that's kind of how I get my conclusions. Sometimes you can just go with that, and if Anyone's Legend loses, we go on to the next one. If that's not where you guys want to go, I don't think it's possible to pair up Ultra Prime and BLG. Yeah, these prices are too high, I believe. So maybe you want to go down to OMG. I don't think getting to OMG is bad either. So if me personally, I would go with BLG and AL or BLG and OMG, but I think V5 edged them out in the third game. So that's where I'd lean. Not a lot to love, so I'll take the Anyone's Legend underdog shot here, and not going to love it a lot, but I'll root and cheer for my team, and if they screw me yet again, then that's what happens, but can't win them all, and I like taking the underdog shot, especially just at that price. I think the minus 300 on the Ultra Prime side is a little crazy to me, so that's where I'm at. I will see you guys tomorrow. Actually, I'm not sure. So if you guys don't know, I actually have a ankle surgery coming up tomorrow. So I'm not sure what tomorrow will entail, but I'll try my best to make a video if I can. So that'll be it for me today, and best luck to you guys all tonight.